Hello, my name is Wayne Avery, and I'm here to discuss interpersonal communication with you today. Um, Interpersonal communication is communication as defined as communication that occurs between two people or more people within the context of a relationship that has evolved to help them negotiate and define their relationship. Why is interpersonal communication so important? It is persuasive. Nearly everyone engages in interpersonal communication every day. Most people that are on their jobs or interact with customers, have families that are married, that are in relationships, that have children. Those of us that go to church and we are very involved in our church, or we have some type of organization that we're involved in. Those within the political arena, those that are within leadership. Interpersonal communication is used daily, and it has a great impact on those relationships. Interpersonal communication can improve relationships. Lack of effective communication is the number one reason why marriages and relationships fail almost daily. Interpersonal communication can improve our health. Having close relationships, which we can be honest, improves our general health and sense of well-being. Having those relationships where we can be naked and not ashamed, and having those conversations where we can let someone know of truly of the essence of how we're feeling, and having someone to hear us, that's crucial in this life. We are humans, and therefore we do have emotions and different things that we need to discuss, and I believe that it's powerful that we're able to communicate and have someone that is a mindful listener to listen to us. Being a mindful listener, I've learned through interpersonal communication, is crucial to the success of the conversation that's being had. Mindfulness is the ability to pay attention to the person that you're speaking to, and to make sure that they hear you and they're paying full attention to you. That is very important as it relates to interpersonal communication. All right. I believe that another founding principle that I learned within this class that was fundamental, that Stewart, exacerbated about throughout the book, was openness. To make sure that I disclose appropriately, not disclosing things that are, don't have anything to do with the conversation. I believe that that is crucial, to have those conversations and keep the main thing within those conversations. Once again, my name is Wayne Avery. I am a husband. I'm a father of 3, 13, 6, and 5, all girls. So I have to be able to communicate a lot within my household. I work for Dominion Energy, which is a public utility company within the area. Um, so that's a little bit of my introduction. Okay, so also within my introduction, I have a bachelor's degree from Columbia Southern University. Currently, right now, I am pursuing my master's degree with Liberty University. Um, so my personality blend, one of the components of interpersonal communication that we did the first week of class, I am an IDDI personality behavior blend. I have an outgoing personality. I am the eldest of two children. It was my sister and myself. We're about 7 years in age difference. Really, from early on, we had to communicate within my family, being that we were a military family. So we had to communicate, and my parents had to communicate it with us when we were moving, or if my dad would be gone for an extended amount of time. And my parents had to communicate if they had to have someone to look after me and my sister, if my mother had to work while my dad was gone, or different things that we had to communicate. We had to communicate on different type of schools we were going to, where we were going to live, and different things of that nature. My overarching goal, short-term personal goal, is the completion of my master's degree here at Liberty University. I'm currently getting my master's degree within life human services and life coaching counseling. Long-term goal, I plan to be a senior pastor. I feel that God has called me into that area, and I just believe that through interpersonal communication, how more crucial it is to be able to listen to people and truly hear what they're saying. Not necessarily as much as what they're saying, but what they're saying behind what they're saying. Because interpersonal communication, it speaks of the ability to be a great listener. And sometimes when you're a great listener, you can hear what someone's saying with what they're not saying. They could be going through a tough time, and they could make it seem as if everything's okay. But however, if you have that listening ear or that heart, that empathy, that warmness, you can really understand what's going on. My overarching goal for communication, as I spoke earlier, being a mindful listener, really taking the time out to hear what's being said and to really hone in of the conversation. I definitely want to be a level one listener that Stuart spoke of so much throughout the readings, of being that level one listener, being engaged and fully understanding what is being said. Okay, so my behavioral background is IDI, DI, as I stated. I'm very assertive. I'm a direct talker in communication. Have fast responses, outgoing extrovert personality trait. And another trait that I have is I'm loving and caring. Um, so negative behavioral impacts, lack of patience. Sometimes, can having the mindset, okay, let's move on to the next topic, or this conversation is really not interesting me. Having that lack of patience, talking over others while in communication, could feel so passionate about something that you accidentally talk over someone, and you're like, no, you go, no, you go, and then that talking over someone. So that's a negative behavioral impact. Directness affects some relationships. Someone can think you're condescending when you're definitely not trying to be condescending. It's just who you are and how you're made up. I really don't have a lot of gray area. I'm very black and white. It's either this or that. It's 0 or 100, and definitely have to work on that as it relates to communication and controlling the situation at times. If it's a topic that you don't want to discuss, or just want to move on to the next topic of discussion, just being controlling and as it relates to the conversation. Sometimes you just have things that you don't want to discuss, or you're just not in that place at that moment. Communication barriers. Talks fast during communication, moves too fast to the next topic of discussion without fully engaging in previous topic, interrupts others while in conversation, misinterpreting what others say, formulating responses while others are speaking, lack effective listening and speaking skills, not reflecting from what has been communicated. Also, strategies for communication: empathy, warmness, facial expressions. Pay attention to the speaker. That's a great strategy to validate the speaker of what you're saying. Avoid distractions. Try not to daydream. I know for me that is a big issue, daydreaming, going off into space. I do have a few plans of actions to mitigate and to improve on communication. The steps I plan to take are discuss topics of interest, work on myself and coach myself to be engaged with others, show empathy and ask follow-up questions. I think that's imperative. Also, another plan of action is to attain the reality of my overarching goal. I will implement the following initiatives. Do not criticize the speaker. Admit ignorance. Be attentive to the speaker. Pay attention. Hold more meaningful conversations to build myself into great conversation. I believe that there are numerous scriptures within the Bible that we can utilize that expounds off of communication. Proverbs 18:13. If anyone gives an answer before he hears it, it is his folly and shame. There is power in listening and communicating when someone has fully interpreted what is being communicated. Also, Proverbs 18:2. A fool takes no pleasure in understanding, but only in expressing his opinion. We have to take the time to understand what is being communicated to us, not to formulate our own understanding without knowing the essence of what is being communicated. So I believe that is important. So we've learned so much within interpersonal communication, and I hope that a little bit of into my background and my viewpoint of interpersonal communication, I have communicated to you what interpersonal communication is as it relates to Wayne Avery. Thank you so much for watching. Have a good day.